So I was looking at my old video on how I was trying to break the automation test track record. I now know a lot more about making beamng cars, so I should be able to do a lot better than that when it comes to real world driving, considering I'm also much better at driving. So I went back to speedrun.com and I found this record. This is 1 minute 31. Unfortunately, it's against the rules, so it has actually not qualified, even though they've got it on the list still, unfortunately. And I also think that they're probably doing some of the manipulation, like maybe some extra gravity in here, because I know that these cars do not get this much traction. We're gonna try to beat this one. We've got automation, we're gonna make our own. So we're not actually a one-to-one competitor against them because we're using automation cars, but I wanna know if I have the skill to beat somebody's pure skill. Like, there's a lot of skill in their run, but with my ability to be able to build just the most ridiculous vehicle. Goal number 1, lots of lightness. Goal number 2, a little bit of cheating. So, the little bit of cheating I talked about is I'm gonna use a mod that I've been working on for a little bit. It's nowhere near done. It's only about a third of the way done, but it has a cool little thing in it. Now, this is gonna be not as light as I would like, but it's gonna be pretty light. And no, this is not technically an LMP1 body because this does not technically, it's covering up, that's not allowed. Either way, we're gonna make it out of the lightest stuff possible, even if we can't make it super light, and I'll show you what the cheat is in a bit. First, however, we have to choose an engine to make, and I'm thinking maybe like a Boxer 6, keep it like really low to the ground. Now, the twin turbo should help keep it even lower, because, you know, the turbos on these generally tend to go under the engine for some reason. And we're gonna go for somewhere around 1,000-ish horsepower. Shouldn't be too impossible from an engine like this. My God, this thing really likes the revs. What are we at? 2.2 liters? Oh, it might be a bit tricky. We do have to watch out. Automation's engines have been overheating a lot recently. So we're gonna keep it under 2 bar. And would you look at that? We're at about 1,000 horsepower now. 742 kilowatts is 995 horsepower. This should be fairly good. We got it fairly light, 131 kilograms. I would like it to be a bit lighter, but here's the rub. And this is my tricky little cheat. There is no way to move the engine forwards. That includes the weight distribution slider in beamng actually does nothing. Hopefully they'll get around to fixing that at some point so then we can actually have a good representation of things. But the only way to get the engine more inboard is to go into here and tell it to offset that rear wheel further back. And that'll keep the engine in the same place. And you're like, oh, but Phil, you're ruining all your body design. I control morphs. I put in one special morph that allows you to do this. Yes. Oh, am I a genius or what? Now the engine is here and it is a lot more inboard. Unfortunately, it's probably gonna make the vehicle just a little bit heavier, but we'll live with it, I reckon. What color do we want to give this? I'm kind of gone with like a new channel sort of color scheme, and I think it's somewhere around here. Something like this. I do like it. I don't want to go like a mouille color. I do like green cars. Oh, I really do like green color. You know what? Yeah, I think we're gonna go with the green one. And there is plenty of little paint options where you can change whatever you want to change. Basically, kind of, as long as what you want is always very basic. Anyway, back to tuning. It reckons we're 500. Okay, yeah, we're gonna be putting some downforce on that'll hinder that a little bit, but it will be still pretty fast. We don't have to worry so much about oversteer as well, considering that the weight is more inboard now. Our brakes are hugely overpowered, but we'll get to that later. I am noticing, however, our springs are all weird. Let's just select race to start with, and we're gonna make these things a lot more stiff because we're gonna go a lot of downforce. Currently it says we're less than a ton, which is the bare minimum. Under a ton was my kind of like maximum. If I wanted to do this again, I will probably go a much smaller vehicle and do the same sort of trick if possible, and maybe go for somewhere around less than 600, hopefully? In fact, actually going for a smaller body probably would be the much smarter choice from the very beginning. Let's get to make that chassis invisible, and let's put some aerodynamic. Oh, the wheels are bulging through. Usually these vehicles, which this is meant for, the front tires are a lot smaller than this, so this is a bit of, yeah, might have to cover that up. Anyway, let's get that front lip on here. You know what, actually, we might, yeah, not do that. You know what, actually, we're probably gonna put this here, and then we're just gonna make it invisible because I don't want to stuff up my good bodywork. On the back, we're gonna go with a big, massive diffuser as well. Still, for some reason, this mod faces the wrong way. What does a NASCAR diffuser look like? Oh, interesting. I'm tempted, but no, we're gonna go with this. Then let's go with a big race rear wing. Something absolutely ginormous. I wonder what these look like. I don't know what they look like. You're upside down and you're back to front. Great, love it. You know what? Maybe not that sort. You know, it's simple. We're just gonna go with the usual sort of wing that I go with for full-on race cars. This is mostly going to be a visual one because we're going to do the hidden wing trick anyway. That looks fairly good, except actually it could be a lot taller. It just needs to be in line with the hood of the roof line of the vehicle, and we're all good. Now, with just that amount of downforce, we are creating... Oh my god, that's a lot of downforce on the rear. That's 600, but only 38 in the front. So let's maybe add a little bit more to the front, because this thing is going to be not as sharp as what the graphs show. We're just going to grab a very simple wing to work with, one that's monochromatic, give it its own color for now, make it the right size, and let's see what the graph says. That's a lot of front downforce now. All right, well, let's go ahead and do the age-old wing trick. So what you do is you put in a whole bunch of really big wings and then reduce the wing angle to be really low. That way, it creates very little drag, but still the same amount of downforce. And this is looking okay. I get the feeling that this thing is going to give much more lift than 175 kilograms under torque loading. So we're going to need a bunch more wings. Now we're about 278, that's doing okay, and the downforce at top speed is too high. What happens if, so our springs are 560 in the rear. Let's set that to race. Still 5.6. Sorry, not 560, 5.6. We're gonna up these quite a bit. So then we have a very stiff riding car. I think about there is fine. And our car is looking just a little bit silly. We can fix that all in one go because remember we added its own paint job. And perfect. And that's how I do my basic interior when I'm super duper lazy. Automation Test Track reckons we will do approximately 146. Actually, that's slower than my previous car. Yeah, my last time was 146, but that was in beamng, and there was a major discrepancy between Automation and beamng at the time. I might be able to beat that, but I suppose we'll have to see. It is still quoting a lot of oversteer, and I don't think I'm gonna have quite so much oversteer over there. Let's give it a try. This is the Automation Test Track, the track that we're going to be trying to demolish today. Absolutely cane it around here, except one little thing. This thing understeers quite bad. At every single corner, it struggles to get turned. Oh. So, let's go back to the drawing board. I think we're gonna need to add a lot more front downforce. Also, this thing, I didn't realize, is really, really hideous. I think the first thing I can do is change the color. I'm not feeling it. What about red? You know, actually, red does look interesting. And it does cover up a lot of, like, the really poor design choices I made for this thing. So, yeah, let's go with red. Next thing is grab one of these wings and change this color back. And we're going to move some of them forwards. Hopefully this isn't too much at all in one go. Let's see. Also, I noticed that the engine was overheating a lot, so I don't really think I can add much more power to this amount of engine size. Make these invisible again, and send it back. And with just the rear diff lock, and let's see how it does now. Coming up to T1. Brake get turned in. Ooh, okay. Gotta be very careful on those brakes. I have done a little bit of tuning in beamng for the brakes, but it feels a lot better. I think maybe... okay. We struggle to go around there with like about probably a ton's worth of downforce at most. No, it'd be less than a ton. But them at their slowest does 81 miles per hour, which is 130. Do we think we can beat that? I don't think so. Okay, well, I didn't break there either. Can we do the Evans and S's, please? In one go. Brake turn in. That does okay. Get turning that way. Nothing under 130. Oh, it's not looking like it's possible, but I think I can accelerate out a little bit sooner than they do. Let's go full sweat mode here. Okay, yeah, you know what? With a little bit of concentration, I'm pretty sure that is possible. And then coming down here to the band hammerhead, and I locked up. Okay. I think this might be possible already. You know, like, yeah, let's give it a try. All right, we're gonna go with a rolling start. We're gonna go 2 laps, so then we don't have to like flood our time board with a whole bunch of different times. We're just gonna do 1 hot lap. What cameras do we have? We have, okay, that's not a good one. Let's just go with roof cam maybe. And let's hope that the car also does not overheat. Oh, really dangerous coming down there. Oh, I'm getting low frame rate. Oh my god, that is really low frame rate. That is weird. What? And oh, I powered on too soon. Bugger. What is causing me to have low frame rate right now? I don't understand. Maybe let's go in and turn our graphics down for this one. Let's go to normal. Everything seems okay, good. Let's hope we get a better frame rate this time. All right, let's bring it down to the first of the Everton S's. My gearbox is double shifting. Not great. And let's try to hug this corner. Band hammerhead, oh dear. All right, I am also still getting low frame rate. What is happening? We are getting weird pull to one side. What was that? Adam, band hammerhead, damn it. Oh god. I think maybe I need a lot more sway bar. Like a lot more sway bar. Let's go back to automation. Hopefully, you know what, now let's also go like maximum dampness as well. That should help us in our quest for stability. Then let's increase these sway bars to be absolute maximum sort of range. I don't know about absolute maximum, but like pretty darn close. And we also reduced our front camber a little bit, so then we have a little bit more contact patch under braking. It reckons it wants to be off-road budget and about $8,000. Yeah, I very much doubt that, bro. That's not gonna happen. It already feels a lot more stable, except when I hit curbs, obviously. Let's give this a good hard go. You know, first, we're actually gonna switch out the transmission. I love the fact that we can do this now. We can just go in here to transmission, and we can set this to RNM, which is reverse neutral manual. So good. Let's see how it does though. Hopefully, this will do pretty darn good. Bringing it down. Oh, okay, brakes felt rather good there. I haven't actually done the tuning this time around, so I think maybe the tuning was right out of automation for a race car. I don't know. What? Let's slow it down. Brian's bend, quite good. And then Gilrop's gain. I was not going straight. I can't understate how straight you need to be heading into there. Okay, Brian's bend. Straighten it up for Kilrop chicane, and no, unfortunately, it'll still wait transition. It says I'm getting 79 FPS, but I swear I'm getting somewhere in the vicinity of like 15. Damn it! Wow, you really have to be done with the weight transition before you're done. This thing just carries too much corner speed, but not like enough longitudinal stability. And to be honest, I don't know how to tune that out in beamng. Mate, I think it's just the understeer there. All right, full sweat mode. Oh, bugger. What speed was I just doing then? If I'm not doing like 400 kilometers an hour, I'm pretty sure I'm behind them. They get up to, by the entrance, 260 miles per hour, which is 418. I don't like my chances, actually. What does it reach by the end? Let's say it's at about 260. Okay, so we have to reach 418 kilometers an hour on that straight. I don't like my chances. What? Let's do this again, shall we? Yeah, I am way off their top speed. And I can't even floor it through there. Oh, God. And they reckon they have more downforce than this? I doubt it. Oh, come on. This was, by far and away, the least fun I had ever had in BeamNG. I am not this inconsistent in any other simulator. Now I know you're like, oh, but this game is from the ground up. This is so inconsistent, doing the same thing over and over again for 5 hours. Do you know how many laps I completed? 2 laps in this entire time, and this was the second one. The first one was done early in practice, and it was actually better than this lap, and I wish I had recorded that one. It was only like a second or so faster, I can't exactly remember, but I did one. It wasn't a clean lap, but we finally got it done. I'm a little bit more calm today. Yesterday, I was seething with anger, and you're gonna hear how angry I was at the end of this. And there, like, look how unclean that was, but I didn't care. I was gonna complete a lap. That just hot garbage was enough for me. I just needed to get around the track. It was just so inconsistent all the time. Under braking in a straight line, just everything. Under power was probably okay, something about like maybe torquing up the chassis a little bit, but it was just so bad. And this is not the first time I've had this experience. I've had this many a times, and it's when you start getting into more precision type of cars. Though I must say, in third person, this does actually look pretty good to look at. So maybe I can forgive it at least a little bit. But we're about to go back to yesterday, Phil. And yesterday's Phil was, less happy than what I am now. I have to say, this is one of the worst experiences I've had since I've been quit doing, what was it, Pikes Peak? Yeah. Which is really disappointing because I was so excited for this car because you know what? I did something. I put in a full race rig setup in here. I was so excited for it. Oh boy, it was gonna be a cool video. And it ended up being one of my least favorite experiences I've ever had with these two games before. I think something has happened to the physics, either in automation or in BeamNG. I don't play the BeamNG cars very often because they're just not fun. They're very boring and handle like garbage because the devs don't know how to make good, fast cars, which is really disappointing. Because once again, this game, when it was first being talked about and everything, had such potential for being the next wave of gaming tech. Oh my god, how does this thing understeer but yet have way too much front traction? I don't know, bro. I can play Assetto Corsa Competizione all day long and not have a single issue. This game, oh my god, it's the worst. It's the pits. I hate it. I'm almost at the point where I say I want to stop playing these games because I like going fast. I like fast cars. I like racing. BeamNG is not good, and especially not good at racing. See what I did there? Although that was pretty funny. Oh, anyway, we did a time. It was very inconsistent. I beat my previous record. I think out of my practice, I got like one practice lap done. Oh my god, it was like 136, sorry. My brain is all fried right now. Oh my god, it's been so long since I started this recording session. I just hate. I'm filled with hate. I'm anger. I'm anger personified. Go fuck yourself, BeamNG. I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye. I would like to take this time to thank my channel members. I'm so upset. But yes, you guys are the only reason, all you viewers, but especially the channel members, the only reason why I wake up in the morning and play BeamNG. Special thanks to Ruben as well, being the top tier member. But for now, yeah, I've already said goodbye. I'm done. Bye.